Oh, what's your story? Don't you dare be sour. Clap for Stephanie and feel the power.
Here's to 25 episodes. This is our end of the year holiday special.
Yeah.
Wrap up. We're going to be reflecting and chatting and throwing to some pretty outrageous clips and some clips I probably don't even remember yet. But it's been such a wild ride. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to have this podcast and to work with you and to get to know so many incredible people and to really get to hear their story. So this is the first time we're doing an episode like this, so please forgive how awkward
Yes.
it may be. We'll get into a rhythm here, and this will help. So this is cheers. Oh wait, ASMR. Let's do the ASMR. Wait, here we go. Here we go. Ready?
Oh my God, don't spill.
Wait. You do the swallow. You got to put it like on your throat. Could you hear it?
I've done this before. It's actually how I've been making money my whole life.
Oh boy.
I meant this out. Oh, no.
We're starting off hot.
I've had 2 sips, so.
Who is hot in here?
Yeah, wow. My cheeks feel red.
So our producers may have to help throw to some questions. Because I don't know that I'll ever get over hearing how you used to make money.
ASMR. People are into that.
Oh, it was just the sound. The
Correct.
sound is what people paid for.
Don't Google search me. No.
Okay, so what should we do first?
We should talk about how this show came about.
Oh, okay. And so this show really came about. I mean, I don't know why you're asking. Because of Stephanie's Places that I had the privilege of shooting. And it was really an honor to work with Omaha Productions and ESPN and WWE. And it was an opportunity to really, again, get to hear our superstars' stories, And every episode kind of had a theme to it, sort of a wrestling theme, but underlying was really always who was the person. And you were there.
I was.
You were helping make everything happen behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
And we always talked about
where I used to be.
We could marry your old profession with, being on camera, and it might be a huge win for you. Financially speaking.
I'm thinking about it.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
It's fine.
It's terrible right in the middle of this beautiful story.
holiday season. Kids need presents. I mean.
So, but really, we always walked away with something, kind of profound from each person in a different way and something so meaningful. And that was really the genesis behind the pod and the whole name, What's Your Story? Because everybody has a story. And the more people I talk to and the more people I've met in my life, that's one thing that I've learned is everyone goes through it. Everyone has a journey. And it's not about, I always quote Diana Nyad, who's the woman who swam from Cuba to Florida in her 60s. And she had been trying, I read her book, she'd been trying since she was in her 20s. And there was a long period of time in between where she didn't do it. But then she came back and did it.
Crazy.
She was at 60 or in her 60s. And she said, I heard her speak at some type of event. And she said, it's not about who you become once you reach your destination. It's who you become along the way. So it's who you become along your journey, and everyone has a journey, and we're all at different points in that journey, and sharing those stories and tools and different things that helped you get through those rough times that maybe we can help give our audience, because God, we're all human.
We're all in it.
Yep.
I think too, Stephanie's place is not to make it all about this, but it was almost like discovered that you had this ability to get people, and I genuinely mean this, as everyone has seen, like you talk to people and all of a sudden they're sharing some really deep stuff. Like you make people feel comfortable and you ask the right questions, and that was seen in just those 10 episodes, I think. And
10 episodes.
It turned into
thank you. I mean, that's a very, very huge accolade to give me.
But it made sense for this podcast because you had done such a good job telling some of those stories.
I think it helps when you know people too.
Yeah.
And have shared some hard times,
Yeah.
I think that, sort of, what's that quote? I actually put it out the other day on social media and then somebody told me what it was, but it's about relationships formed under intense circumstances or something.
We know nothing about that. Not a
They're
thing.
built to last. They're built to last, I think is how it goes anyway, but yeah.
I didn't see it.
But let's not gush.
No, but I genuinely meant that. Like, you forget.
You can only do that in ASMR.
I feel like we're listening to different ASMR channels. It's like the sounds.
She's going to do it again.
I meant the calf, not the swallowing. Why do I keep doing that to myself?
I don't know, but it's great. Elise, what's one of your funniest moments from the show?
right now. This is it. I mean,
there's a lot listed here, which are kind of funny.
I'm not even looking. I was going to say Andrew Schall's
was just hilarity the
from
whole time.
start to finish. And
he came in so on, like it was crazy.
And he got you to share some.
I've never shared like that before
share
publicly.
Some shit, if you will.
Yeah. You're not going to turn this around because you have been talking about a lot of wonderful things. Big news, WWE and sports fans. The world's #1 sports fan festival, Fanatics Fest, is making its return to New York City. Fanatics is bringing you closer to the leagues, teams, superstars, and athletes you love across 4 action-packed days in July.
Meet your favorite WWE superstars, get your hands on exclusive merch, catch live podcasts, and interact with the biggest names in sports.
Tickets go on sale November 13th, and fans of the show can get a 10% discount by using Steph10 at checkout. That's STEPH, the number 1, the number 0 at checkout.
How long have you guys known each other?
Decade?
Yeah, 2015.
Ooh, what's the nastiest thing you've had to do for her?
Well, it's a great question. I don't know what she would consider the nastiest.
I know.
Was there like dry cleaning and you like looked in the
no.
bag and you're like, oh, what is that?
She doesn't do personal.
None of that.
Not like that.
Never even in the
Not
early
errand
days?
running.
I mean, I do whatever's asked of me.
Okay, so
a
come
great
on.
answer.
What's
It's a
the?
great
I
answer.
want to know.
Nasty.
What's the grossest?
Yeah, what's the grossest?
I feel like it's something many people would dream of doing.
Oh boy.
I have to
Clip this. This is about to get hot and heavy.
I had to
I mean, I did flash you before.
Literally moments ago.
Yeah, moments
That's-
ago. I
see, that's
changed
your
my shirt
intro
right
to
in
the
front of
pod.
her, Yeah.
But like when you're wearing really tight dresses and you got to get a mic in there.
Oh yeah, you have done some stuff.
Are you
Yeah.
your professional mic?
No.
Not at all.
But
you're
I'm the person that could see things so that the professional doesn't have to.
That's a good point. That's
Yes.
fair.
She's
Okay.
seen many things.
You've seen it all.
I've seen it all.
She's seen much.
That's great.
I don't really have. There's no
And you
limit.
complain about pay.
Right?
I mean, God, you're subscribed to the OnlyFans for free.
Well, that's the joke. I'm like, I should be filming this because I
Yeah.
could
Maybe not.
but I would never.
Yeah,
Thank
she
you.
has children. We have to do podcasts instead.
Right.
I mean, there's
Come
much
on
easier.
now.
We could be selling our feet on
We
the internet.
could.
Yeah,
We
but we
could.
don't.
I mean, we
actually-
should get a picture of
You don't want to see my feet.
Listen,
My
I have
Lord of the Rings.
received a DM from a stranger
Yeah.
asking me to take a video of me tickling Steph's feet.
Oh.
Wow.
And I wrote back for how much.
That's the right answer.
And
I'm kidding. I didn't write
Oh,
back.
okay.
I was like,
I mean, I'm curious how much they'd be willing to pay.
Oh.
Please don't actually answer that.
we could split it.
I mean,
I'd give it to you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's definitely a market for this. Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Not that I would know.
maybe.
Don't look at my Explore page or anything, guys. There's no feet on there at all.
So, what are some other things that have not gone your way?
Oh man, I got a whole list of things. Starting from sixth grade. Sixth grade I got suspended in elementary school, so that didn't go my way. My parents
Why'd you get suspended?
I don't know if I should get into this.
Definitely. Sixth grade. Come on.
Yeah, so-
Statute of limitations is way over.
I was a very curious kid, and I liked knives as a kid.
Okay. Don't try this at home.
Yeah, do not try this at home, kids. And I had two little knives that I had found in, probably one of my dad's gyms. So I was talking to a buddy of mine on the bus, and he said he had a bigger knife. So I decided I said, let's make a trade here. I have two little knives. You have one big knife. I said, let's make a trade.
Okay.
In
Two
my,
for one.
Yeah, in my head that made logical sense.
Right.
I said, Rambo's got a big knife. I want a big knife.
You want a big ass knife.
Yeah, I wanted a big ass knife. So we made it on the school bus
you're
with
12.
our knives. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 11.
Okay.
Yeah, we made it on the school bus with these knives, and
That's frightening in and of itself.
we meant no harm. We were just
Sure,
gonna,
but
just
yeah,
gonna
can
trade.
you imagine being the bus driver?
Terrifying. Looking back at it now, I'm
casual
28.
knife trading.
Like you have two 12-year-olds rolling into this bus full of kids with knives.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a good look.
Not a good look. Not a good
So we got caught, and
So who caught you?
I believe someone caught us on the bus as we were trading, and then as soon as we got to school, someone told on
Someone
us.
ratted on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think the funniest part of this story is that when I got called into the office, they said, "Bring your backpack." I said, "I don't have a backpack," because I tossed it in the bushes, thinking that I was gonna get away with it.
Right. Nope.
But-
Never had one in my life.
But no, that was not the case. They forced me to bring out the backpack out of
What
the
color
bushes.
was the backpack?
It was like a bright green JanSport.
I knew it was going to be a solid color.
Yeah, and they called the cops and
I
everything.
think I
It
had a
was-
green JanSport also.
It was a cool color,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. The dark
JanSports-
green though I had.
I think mine was like a little bit brighter green.
Yeah, mine was dark. Mine was also many generations earlier.
No.
Yes.
But yeah, they called the cops on us, and got suspended. My dad was not happy.
Oh, your dad. Who came to pick you up?
Mom, because dad wasn't home.
And what did mom say?
Mom was not happy because the first things that come out of her mouth were, "Wait for your dad to get home."
Okay, so what are the top 3 adjectives that your wife would use to describe you?
Okay.
Have you been asked this before?
No, but I'm gonna ask you. Just bear with me here.
Okay, all right.
What's an adjective?
It is a word
Whoa.
that is more of a descriptor used to describe someone.
Oh, just okay.
I thought he was kidding. He was not kidding.
It's been a while, guys. Sorry.
Sorry, it's all good. It's all good.
I would say
We could edit that for Dom.
no, don't edit it. No, keep that in.
Just said be real.
Yeah.
Be as real as possible.
So now that I know what an adjective is,
Right.
reminded. I knew what it was. I just
Yeah,
had to get reminded.
Well, you used to talk a lot of shit to me in the ring.
Oh, you slapped only because I knew if I didn't, you'd slap me 15 times in a row.
We were on the same
Run the
page
track,
at first,
busted my eardrum too.
Oh man,
I believe it.
Shattered that sucker. The doctor was like, "Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, don't fuck with me.
That's right. That's right. Hey, if you're gonna hit somebody, hit
I'm
them.
just saying. Well, and you guys all taught me that. I think it was Foley the first time.
I would no. Your first few were good. They were good workers.
right, and then I just got carried away or something.
I don't know whose
because you
idea
weren't
that
selling
was.
for me, and
That's
I was
right.
like,
Young
make
bull.
you
Yeah.
sell.
Now just down for a day. Oh God,
Finally.
I'll be in the
Finally, I
theater.
got
Leave
him.
me alone.
I feel like
Where's
you,
Daddy selling in the theater?
So we're Fanatics Fest, and that's there's this competition going on, and first place gets like $1 million. There's 50 athletes or celebrities doing that. Yeah, cash, and then there's 50 fans that are doing it. And the best score, yeah, you guys come compete. Just go talk to Michael. He'll let you in. So there's about 10 sports you got to play, and you get scores and points for all the sports, and it all adds up. And one of the things is your entrance, your WWE entrance. And right when I got there, they're like, all right, you're up. We got the WWE entrance first. And I was like, they're like, pick who you got to imitate. And I was like, damn, all right. Like, they gave me a list. I was like, Val Venus, by far. Val Venus. Hello, ladies. And he whips off the towel. And I was like, I won't go shirt, but give me a towel. They look, and he's not, his music's not on the list. I was like, how? You guys have literally 400 options right here. Val Venus isn't on the list. I was like, whatever. And then Julian goes, I'm going to do Stone Cold. I was like, oh, that's a good one. Anyone can do Stone Cold. He killed it. And then I was sitting there and I was like, dang, I don't know who to really do. And they're like, well, you just pick anyone. You be Gronk. But I was like, yeah, but I want like kind of a structure a little bit. I will be myself, but I kind of want the structure. And then someone points out, who was the first I was about to do? I think it was Mankind, maybe, with Mr. Saka. And I was about to do it. And then someone points out, yo, D-Generation X, suck it. And I looked at him and I said, 100%, I'm doing D-Generation X. So I said, pull up Triple H's entrance real quick. And then he pulled up he was on an army tank. And he has his leg up on his thing. I was like, that's not his typical entrance, but I only had 30 seconds. So I looked at it. He spit 3 times while doing sucking. So I grabbed the water real quick. Boom, his music started playing, went out, stuck my leg up in the air on top of that speaker and did, yeah. And I knew I was going to do that the second my friend pointed out D-Generation X, because you can't really do suckets anymore, but I can. Yeah, I can. Here at Fanatics Fest, I go, yeah, football coaches can. And I go, I can get away with it right now. 100%. I'm doing a WWE entrance. Like, that's my backup plan about why are you doing suck it? I just suck it to like 18 like little kids out there too. They're gonna be going home. Gronk did it, Mom.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I'm
I just see the
so
screen. I am-
happy for
good
you.
Lord, that is
You are sweating a little bit.
that is bad.
So, do you want me to douse you in
It's
water
okay.
so
This
it's
is
all
my
the
life.
same?
It's not even that hot in here.
So I once watched Paul and Batista at Ric Flair's wedding, and all the guys who were standing, well, his third wedding, and all the guys who were standing there in these white linen suits
Yeah.
on the beach, and they start sweating, and it's hot, and also I was like 9 months pregnant. It was very hot. And they start dripping, right? And then they get bigger patches. And then by the end of it, it looked like it was meant to be that way because it was just all soaked through completely.
perfect.
I have a problem. It's real bad. I didn't realize it was that. I knew it was coming. I didn't think it was that bad.
She makes people very nervous.
Oh God! All right.
Do you want to change your shirt?
I'm good. You know what? I have a blazer. This is my life.
Okay, great.
I'll just sweat through the next
I'm
shirt.
not-
So it's
yeah.
not gonna do anything.
Okay,
No.
all
Save that one
all
for
right.
later.
Right.
You know, I wondered when you came in and you said how bad you were sweating and you dabbed your head, and I'm thinking that's an awful light shirt.
Yeah.
If he starts
said,
sweating,
Let's see how this is
after
gonna
this,
play
I have
out.
to go do the countdown show. I have a blazer for that, so.
but you're wearing the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna just power through.
Jackie's
Jackie
got
has a
fan.
hair dryer.
A fan?
Also.
Do you want to change your shirt?
No, that's a genuine question because he said he had to go to the panel. I mean that was all of those clips are awesome, but for sure the Big E one is unforgettable.
Well, and it was funny, I think, because the pod dropped and we didn't lead with that clip.
Right, I didn't even think about it.
And
truthfully,
all the
like it
comments-
wasn't at all. I didn't
It
remember
was funny in the moment,
Yeah.
but it was the summer. It was a little hot in there, kind of. And all of the comments were about him sweating.
Yeah, they were immediately,
So
and
we're
so
like-
then it was actually your idea.
Oh, yes.
It
actually.
was. Go ahead.
Well, I just was like, why don't we show the part where he owns it? Because they haven't made it to that part in the podcast where he.
And you
He
said
called it out.
something about anything that begins with "Good Lord" is a winner.
It was just him finally seeing himself, and he hits the good Lord.
It was pretty funny.
pretty
It
good.
really was pretty funny. God bless him.
I mean,
Yeah. Bodily
Again.
functions are tough.
let's talk about him.
No, it's not. What else in the series of clips that we didn't get to watch would you think is memorable?
It was our very first podcast, although it didn't come out first, but Dom.
Yes.
We learned about his.
Apparent lack of education.
Yes, I was trying to figure out how to nicely say that he didn't know what an adjective was.
Yes. That was interesting.
There's really no nice way to put that.
Yeah. The English department did not serve him.
I mean,
Yes.
he also almost said he would leave Marie
For In-N-Out Burger.
for In-N-Out. Never
Yes.
forget.
But no, yeah, to own a franchise.
Well,
let's
yeah,
let's
he's a
be clear.
businessman.
Not just to eat there. It would have to be
Own it. Just one.
to own a franchise.
They're cute.
They are very cute. But can I just say, why doesn't Dom have an In-N-Out
I
sponsorship
just
deal yet?
started.
Like for real.
Because he's got the Wingstop,
like,
the
guys,
chicken tendies.
WWE Universe, please reach out to In-N-Out Burger
Hashtag
and whatever the right hashtag would be. Dom.
wants In-N-Out.
I don't know. I wasn't going with the hashtag. I was going with, demand the Dominic Mysterio represent In-N-Out Burger.
Yeah.
He can ultimately become a franchise owner, but let him start with an endorsement.
A dirty Dom burger.
Ooh.
Guys.
Yes. Yes. Right. I mean, you are a genius.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Every time
I'll drink to your
Every time we call me a genius.
geniosity.
One sip.
It's the word of the day. And did you use Paul Heyman's makeup artist this morning? I love you, Paul. You saw all the comments. You actually told me we should reshoot the whole thing when you watched it back and saw how tan you were. But you are legitimately tan.
It's important to note that I just returned from Mexico less than 12 hours ago. I don't know what day it is.
Good for you.
What time it is. That's why I have no voice.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, because I was on a vacation without children.
For the first
Celebrating
time. In how long? Since Liv was born, right?
Yeah, at least 2 years.
Yeah. That's a long time.
We were there for a long time also, celebrating two very good friends' wedding that my husband and I were both in, and we had too much fun.
No such thing.
Yeah, but that's why I got a little bronze.
No, yeah, you're bronze and you're hot and you look great.
Genius.
Raspy. Genius. She said that just so we have to take a sip, but I'm not drinking too much.
I swore I wasn't drinking again after that vacation. Oh my.
I wasn't going to bring that up, Joe. That was a like a Vegas situation. Stays there. Yeah.
No, I won't say it. Anyways, that's why I'm a little tan today.
I'm holding this very tightly so it doesn't spill. It's like
I see
I
that.
think it's too much.
See, my Mexico shakes are sitting in.
Oh my God.
I'm kidding. That was pretty dark. Well,
Yikes.
yeah.
Yikes.
No,
Should I take that from you?
no. I am a trained professional. All right, hit the next clip.
Are you ready to hold WWE history in the palm of your hand? Topps is bringing you closer to the action than ever before with WWE Topps Now, highlighting the biggest matches and milestones from WWE shows and PLEs throughout the year. Topps Now is enhancing the fan experience by connecting collectors to the superstars and spectacles that ignite their passion. Featuring stunning event-exclusive photography, each card is made for the moment. And for some lucky collectors, that moment could become the pull of a lifetime. Along with serial-numbered parallels, some Topps Now releases offer a chance at rare short prints, superstar autographs, and even pieces of the mat, gear, or other items used during the featured match. So which moments will you collect? With each card only available for a limited time, you won't want to wait to begin your Topps Now journey. Be sure to subscribe to the WWE Tops Now mailing list on Tops.com and follow Tops on all social media platforms so you never miss a single moment. So then when I read a story, and I don't know if this is true, but when you guys first were at the school together, you said something about your dad in like a negative way or
Yeah,
something.
I just tried to
Dumbest
make a
joke ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Percy found out, he told me that her favorite wrestler growing up was my dad, Rikishi. So I was like, oh, this is cool, man. I'm going to go in and
The
talk
boys
to her.
across the street would watch Friday Night SmackDown. Like my neighbors, but they were like my brothers growing
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
So during that time, when the little bit I would see or know of it, it was when his dad was hot and running and when The Rock was there.
Yeah.
So that's really all I knew.
Right.
And so when I came to FCW, I guess they ask you, how'd you get here? Did you watch wrestling? And
Sure,
I
sure.
would just say his dad, because that's literally only one I knew was Rikishi.
The man that used
right?
to put his
Right.
booty in their faces.
Like, so
Rikishi?
Percy told him, and then
Yeah. I was
He
like,
tried
oh,
to-
yeah. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, yeah. I was like, all right. Then so
They
I went
make-
up,
you
yeah, I
made
went
a
up
joke?
there, yeah, trying to make a joke. I said, hey, man, I heard your dad. I heard your favorite wrestler is Rikishi. She was like, yeah. I was like, that guy's a loser. Right? I mean, horrible performance, right? Like,
I was like,
She's
she
like-
literally, this reaction, I was like, all right, this not working.
okay.
And she just kind of like
'Cause she didn't know.
Scooted off. No.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah, and it was
also I'm
so
just
out of
like,
the blue.
I don't
Trying to
know.
make
It was
Why
conversation.
is this guy trying to dog on the one guy I like?
It was, and I'm scared. I'm new. It's like a kind
Right.
of culture shock.
you?
I don't
Yeah, I'm
know
sure.
what.
I ain't never heard you were scared of me.
No, I'm
Not of
saying
you.
not
Oh,
of you.
Of the
I'm scared of you. I'm like,
situation.
I didn't know that.
No, just being new and new environment. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so then she goes over.
Well, after practice, I kind of bombed. I was like, "Oh, this." I went to go loosen the ropes on the other ring. I was like, "This isn't working." So after practice, though, she was leaving. I stopped her. I was like, "Hey, man, I just want to introduce myself. I'm John. I made a horrible joke about my dad. I heard that was your favorite wrestler growing up. So I just thought that would be a cool end to you to get there. But obviously, stop sign. Something else happened.
And what did she say to you?
She's like, then why did you just say that?
Yeah.
Why did you say introduce yourself?" I was like,
What I read, and again, I don't know if this is accurate, but is that she said, well, why did you say all that stupid shit?
Probably did say that.
that.
When I came aboard, I was told, my daughter runs the writing team. Take her out of her game. I want you to be the disruptor in the room. I want you to be the contrarian opinion. Do not make that easier. There's no nepotism here. She earns that right to manage you, or she doesn't get to do it. At the same time, so I'm walking in to be the disruptor. I'm walking in to be the bull in the china shop. I'm walking in to just say, here's the fucking answers. And she's told, God damn it, Stephanie, you got to manage that Heyman guy. He's out of control. He thinks this is his company, and it's not. Rein him in. If you want to be respected, if Stephanie Marie McMahon, if you want people to respect you as an executive and as a professional and as a manager of people, you can't let Heyman take you out of your game. You have to show that you can manage someone like him.
This is true. This is all true.
Yeah, I feel like
Completely
this is therapy.
pitted against each other.
I know, but it's like fascinating in hindsight, right? Like, and we figured it out anyway.
Well, that was my
Yes.
question.
We
How
did.
did it
Yeah.
end?
One day,
Who won?
in one of those couch sessions at 120 Hamilton, I just sat there and went,
Yeah, 'cause so you're fucking with me at 3 o'clock in the morning, and I guess I was a little upset.
He
so
was
I
there to help.
blasted out at you.
blasted me. What the fuck is wrong with you? Who told you to make my life so fucking difficult? Your father. Oh.
And even like the most recent ones I got out of my hands, like the Godfathers and Lucha Legends. I feel like that's pretty cool.
Sure.
Yeah. It's
Can we zoom in? Oh, I didn't realize it was so much effort.
all good.
I thought they could control it back there. Can you explain them?
Yeah. So like on this hand, I have 3 of my Godfathers, This is La Parca. He's not a godfather, but I loved watching him as a kid. We have Psychosis, who is my godfather. And then we have Conan, also a godfather of mine, and Villano, also godfather. Villano Cuarto. And then on this hand, I just feel like I have 4 lucha legends who just deserve credit no matter what. We have El Rayo de Jalisco, Mil Máscaras, Blue Demon, and Santo.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, those are super painful as well. So like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
So
tattoos
in
are
their
fun.
honor.
Yeah, for sure. But I feel like that one, it felt like an original idea because like I've seen certain things and like tattoos and stuff, but I feel like no one's ever done like the masks like that.
Yeah.
So I feel like it was. I hope
Very
Yeah,
original.
I was like, I hope I started a little trend there.
Yeah, you might
but
have inspired some people.
Yeah, I hope so.
If you sat with me, we were just talking with Nikki off camera about how I dressed, looked, and acted in 2006. If you had sat with John Cena then, I would be in.
I did.
Which you did, by the way. Not only did you sit with, you pretty much created. I would be in Reebok pumps, polo cargo shorts, probably a Michelin Ness basketball tank top, a brand new fitted hat, $250,000 worth of diamonds, and we would be talking about stuff different. But at that time, I was also trying to debut an album, living a life that I never thought was possible, and like those things were my why. If you asked me what I was born to do, my response in 2006 would be, I am a WWE superstar. It is what I was born for. That's at 48, that's not why I was born. And it's okay. No, it's not. Like the forever question of why are we all here? That's some real deep stuff.
Yeah.
We're so insignificant. Like, honestly, none of it matters. We're logging all this stuff. There's people giving their time and effort. None of it matters. It's finding beauty in that and then being okay with it and making those things significant.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah. Yeah?
Oh my God, I have such a
Okay.
bad sweet tooth. And
Oh, I
you
don't
know,
feel so bad now.
Paul does not
I know.
at all. And he's
trying not to
always
look at
so
him right now
strict
while I'm
and
talking about
disciplined.
cookies.
I know. But he's always so strict and disciplined.
Well,
and
he's like, oh, we're cheating. Let's have like a fire baked pizza with like a whole chicken breast on
oh
it.
yeah, exactly. That's
Wait,
your
and
big
that's your cheat meal?
Well, on the road
Dude.
you've eaten with him, right?
Of course,
Yeah.
of course.
And so I have
Yeah.
snuck like chocolate covered almonds or chocolate covered, but not that I have to sneak it, but I feel
yeah.
like I have
Sure,
to
sure,
sneak it.
sure.
Then he catches me almost every time, and I'm like shoving shit in my mouth in the
That's
little pantry
great.
closet.
That's great.
He's like, "What are you doing?"
Why are you hiding it from me?
I mean, and Randy was like in some moments so hilarious, and in some moments so raw and vulnerable and real and relatable. And it was unexpected, I think.
Yeah.
By everyone, myself included. He was like, I love Randy. I've known Randy for such a long time, but he was just so open. And I don't think a lot of people, sorry, losing my voice. I don't think a lot of people realize just how human Randy Orton really is.
I think the fan comments, even like the cheers he got after that, I assume was because everyone was listening to this podcast and hearing him tell that story and like that real side of this strong ass man who feels just like every one of us and
Right.
struggles just like every one of us. And I remember reading a lot of comments that were like, I'm in that situation or I was in that situation, and to hear that you were too is saving me or makes me feel so much better. I'm not ashamed of my anxiety. Like it was so powerful.
It was so powerful.
And I think we went into it not really expecting it to get so deep.
Well, you
And
never
then-
know. Here I go. I'm sorry. Excuse
Karma.
me. It's allergies or something.
Karma. But yeah,
But it was. And I don't think so either. And that's kind of the beautiful thing about all these podcasts. Like, we don't know what anyone's going to bring,
No.
or what we're all going to bring out of each other.
yeah, and there's a lot of roller coasters where like Randy, we were laughing about the snacks and his bag of everything.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
his little
about
fan,
his bag of
his
tricks.
little fan.
Yes, yes.
You're like, oh, just a little one. Remember that?
I do now that you mentioned it.
No, I got you.
You got me.
But then in the next moment, he was sharing, and maybe not in that order, but like we laughed, we cried, we learned.
Yeah,
We did the thing where we have the full day, just a short time.
yeah.
Pretty cool.
It was beautiful. It really was. Paul Heyman, it was my personal goal to share with the world the Paul Heyman that I know and that I've always had. I mean, I've met many of the different versions and different sides of Paul Heyman, but his heart and who he is and his core is what I really hoped anyway to bring out so that the audience could see that side of him. And I think he, of course, over-delivered like he does in anything it is that he tries to do, especially when he shared that moment about his mom and her smile and her joy at his bar mitzvah and how it was one of two times that he saw pure joy on her face. Because she knew that she had carried his family's legacy forward because he made it to manhood as the bar mitzvah celebrates. And she was a Holocaust survivor who lost so much.
Yeah.
And lost her sister and her mom.
And her mom. And just kept keeping on.
I mean, it was so powerful. And then to hear the beautiful story about his dad coming in and how they were magnets attracted to each other and intellectually challenged each other immediately. And that was what it was really all about, was this sort of intellectual duel, if you will.
Yeah.
Which completely explains Paul.
100%.
I mean, his resiliency, how intelligent he is, how he can argue both sides of any situation seemingly convincingly.
I said to you after, the way he has this ability to like recall details, and he hits you with every adjective and not just one.
Oh, he's an incredible storyteller.
I mean, I the whole time, we were here for a while, and I think I could have listened to him for 2 more hours at least.
Yeah. It's hard not to drink the Kool-Aid. I mean, it just is.
I was chugging it.
You were doing shots. You were gulping. Sorry.
We are having a moment.
We are because we're talking about the seriousness and no, there's no real words to describe what someone like Paul's mom went through.
Yeah.
There's no possible human understanding if you haven't lived through that. And I can't imagine.
He's here and he is living, out that legacy. And his kids.
And he has 2 beautiful kids of his own. Yeah.
Who I got to meet after the episode, not the same night, but just you could.
Oh, yeah, then when we were at the garden.
They were just,
Azalea and Jacob.
They were amazing.
Yeah.
And you could feel their energy from him. Like it was.
They love their dad.
It was beautiful.
Oh my God. Watching them watch his Hall of Fame speech was my favorite. Like they had so much love in their eyes watching their dad and Paul Heyman having that moment in Philly. I mean, when it was incredible hearing him retell the story.
Yeah.
Because I remember, and that is what I wanted to tell him, because if you've made it in life, it's your kids looking at you like that. You can't ask for a bigger gift than that.
No. I was going to say, what's pretty cool is I get to watch your girls this year doing the same thing. Not gushing, just that will be really awesome.
I'm not sharing something. I'll tell you after.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, this has been obviously so many
unbelievable heartfelt moments. We talked about Paul. We talked about Randy. Let's take a look at some of these moments, guys. Obviously, the reaction from our fans are just unbelievable of how much people really look at some of the real things that you guys talk about and the real life issues. So would love to throw to that now. So
What's one of your clearest memories of your mom?
Her laughter the day of my bar mitzvah.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Please tell.
Couldn't stop laughing.
All day?
All day. Every picture from my bar mitzvah is of my mother with the biggest smile on her face.
Just so proud.
No, happy because the next generation made it.
Wow.
It's beautiful.
It was August 1944. Depending on the date, my mother was either 16 or 17. So she doesn't know the actual date. She just knew it was August 44. They were put on a train to Auschwitz. When they got off the train from Auschwitz, and this is the defining moment of my mother's life, you know how like when you wear glasses, you see everything through the lens of the glass? Mm-hmm. I believe my mother saw everything in life, every moment of my mother's life, through the lens of what they called the separation. And the separation was, are you fit for slave labor or not? If you're fit for slave labor, you go this way. If you're not fit for slave labor, you go that way. And if the child goes this way, the mother goes with the child, because once you kill the child, the mother's not fit for slave labor. The mother just shuts down because the child's been killed. My mother got off the train. My mother was fit for slave labor. She went this way. My mother's mother and my mother's 7-year-old sister went that way. Within an hour, they were in the gas chambers. That was it. Liberated April 15th, 1945 by the British Army from Bergen-Belsen, had no family. Everybody was dead, as far as she knew. And she was diagnosed with either typhus or typhoid or both. She doesn't really know. Was given a 10% chance of living. She was that much on death's door. Survived. And became a nurse at the Displaced Persons Hospital in Berlin because there was nowhere else for her to go. Now, her uncle Zelig would save his money every year and go back to Poland looking for any members of the family that survived. He went to the Displaced Persons Hospital in Berlin and said, anybody here from Poland named Scharf? And they said, well, we have a nurse.
Wow. Yeah.
And her name is Sulamita. And he said, my God, that's my niece. On my mother's tombstone is not only my mother's name, but her mother's name and my mother's sister's name. And that was at my mother's insistence. Because my mother didn't just live her life for herself. My mother lived her life for her younger sister.
I didn't see us talking about this stuff, but I started kind of like getting in my head, and this is after I met Kim, and I had 3 stepsons, and I have 2 daughters, and I kind of got overwhelmed, and I started getting, I don't even really want to like get into this, but I don't even like give a fuck. Like, what the hell? Like, we all are human. Like, I was having like panic attacks.
Yeah.
And it was like, it started to become hard to fly.
Mm.
It started to become hard to stay in another bed. And I would be like up all night. And it was really rough. And I think it kind of came to a head when I had my spinal fusion and I was out for like 1.5 years. And it was like, here's my identity. This is who I am. This is like the one thing I know that I'm good at and I get respect for. And I can't do it anymore. And for like 6 months, I was under the impression that that was it until I met this amazing doctor, Dr. Cantor, at Newport Beach, California, and he was able to perform the surgery on me so that I would be able to be an athlete again and not cut through any muscle. Not cut through any muscle. And so that, once you cut through muscle and that muscle stitched together, like there'll be like fatty infiltration into the tissue to where that muscle doesn't operate the same as it used to. It can get you by, but you're not going to be a pro wrestler or a pro athlete. during that time, that 6 months where I thought that that was it, like it was like such a like I always like when I was younger, I felt like so mentally strong and mentally tough, and nothing could shake me. And like I got to like a dark place, and I started to revert back to some of my old habits, and I've got a wife and 5 kids, and luckily I was able to kind of nip it in the bud quick. She saw it happening, and I was put on some SSRIs, and
I don't know what that is.
it's like a anti-depression, anti-anxiety medication, and I've actually been off of them for about 6 months, and I feel like I'm myself again. But I needed them for a few years,
Yeah.
Steph, because like I can't believe I'm talking about this. I didn't know if I could do this job anymore. Even after I came back, I started to like my head was just going all. It was like playing out all the scenarios. Worst case, it was trying to go to bed at night and then not being able to lay down in bed because my mind would start going, and then all of a sudden I'd get like hot and I'd have to get out of bed, and then I'd be like, everyone's sleeping in the house, and I'm out like walking around our yard, just like taking deep breaths. And I met like an amazing doctor, and she like gave me just pages and pages of information on how to deal with like panic attacks and stuff. And I don't know that the medication ever worked, but it made me feel not myself. So
Right.
I didn't like the medication, but I kept taking it because I thought that, well, I need to take this because if I don't, I'm going to have panic attacks. Well, I was having them anyway, you know? And like it, honestly, it's been, gosh, what is it, June? It's like coming on 6 months since I've had a panic attack. And
Good
it's
for
funny.
you.
Thank you. But this is like shit people deal with and don't talk about. And maybe so it's like it's good to talk about or something. But you
No,
know,
it's true.
I
It's
don't
very
know
true.
what this is going to
especially
do for the
someone
Randy Orton
seeing-
character on TV.
No,
You don't have to worry about that.
But I also think there's someone that's listening to this
Yeah.
who's going through it, and they see this strong ass guy like you. You know, we're all human. I live with bipolar disorder. I have been taught. I once did a speech. I do keynote speeches for mental health organizations across the country, and I once did a speech, and I said I am bipolar in it. And afterwards, I was speaking to all the medical professionals, and one of them came over and held my hand, and she goes, "You have bipolar. You're not bipolar." And I was like, just because it's a part of me. It's not all of me.
It doesn't define you.
Yes. And so
Yeah.
ever since then, I've been like, I live with bipolar disorder. It's a piece of me. It's not all of me. But it is something that runs in my family. And we didn't know it, that my mother was struggling with it. And so that answered a lot of questions of like her behavior growing up and you know, why things were the way they were. But then it is often triggered and worsened by high pressure situations, high stress.
So you went right into that fire.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
So I just was really figuring out, I mean, from like 19 years old to like 24 was sort of the coming into wrestling and going, being shot, strapped to a rocket.
Right.
I went to NYU for 6 months. I couldn't afford it. I had to leave. And I said, my dream was, I loved writing. I went there for film and television production. Couldn't afford to do it, but I also loved wrestling. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go wrestle now then. And started the indie circuit, got signed by WWE eventually, like 2 years into my indie run. And I was still dealing with like this initial diagnosis, and I just
so
gotten.
when were you diagnosed?
When I was 19 years old, I believe.
Okay.
And then I was signed when I was like 21.
Okay.
So it was just, I didn't have money
Also
for
new.
medicine.
Yeah.
I didn't have money for therapy. So I was just given this sort of bomb to like,
Here you go.
good luck.
Yeah, and it wasn't talked about nearly as much. So there wasn't as much information available.
Not at all. And there was so much shame and there was so much,
Stigma.
yes, where I
Yeah.
thought it could cost me my job if people found out about it. And so I never told anyone. And I remember one person had like sort of an inkling, and that was Caitlin. Because I think we've talked about this story before on her podcast, but
we were like going to the gym or something, and I was like, I can't leave the car, and I just like sat in the car and like cried while she went out into the gym and like worked out. She's like, "You good?" when she came back. But you know, it was one of those things you had to like sort of suffer in silence and figure out. And so dealing with like, the high pressure of like being on television and
It brought it all to a head, so to speak.
It was a lot all at once for a young person to sort of figure out. And so I really started taking care of it once I retired.
But that's kind of where I'm trying to be ahead of the curve. And then also, you know, this isn't a business thing, but it's a personal thing. It's the most personal thing, but really being able to balance home and road life, that's a
Key priority.
that's a puzzle to figure out for a young performer traveling the world.
Trying to make it.
100%. Yeah. I mean, the carrot's dangling and you're just constantly chasing it, and you're tunnel visioned on it. But to be able to, you know, be a professional in both regards, be a professional in your personal life too,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, and kudos to you for being able to do that and for recognizing that, because it's something, and you know, when I was interviewing John Cena, that he talked about, that he said was a lesson he had to learn the hard way. You know, and with his first wife, they'd be sitting at the coffee table, and if the office called and needed him, he'd be like, "Okay, bye."
Yep.
You know, and that was it.
Yep.
And it unfortunately didn't work out, you know, because he prioritized differently.
Yep.
You know, but you clearly prioritize your family, and everybody knows you as a family man. And I think that's an incredible reputation to have that not many, you know, men in your position especially have. And it speaks to your character and who you are. And I think that's very rare. And I think it's awesome.
Yeah, just, you know, being new to this and I shared with Steph, we're hitting her second birthday, and for the first time, you know, she's not a baby anymore, but she kind of looks like she's a baby.
What scares you? That was good. I liked that. I liked that.
It's a great question.
Sorry. How I can't change the world for her, and how people will treat her.
Oh,
you know?
Yeah, and that's tell her, and you as her mom, waking up tomorrow, there's nothing you or her can do, right? Nothing. Got to live with this, and we're gonna live with it and make it awesome.
Embrace the shit out of it.
Yeah. You can't change anything, right? Like, that's my mindset. We can't change
can't.
tomorrow. I can't change this, and I'm okay with that.
How did you or your parents not feel the need to fight every single person that made a comment? Because that's where I feel like I'm headed. Not that I'm a violent person.
Love it.
But
this makes me happy. This
no,
will be
I
really
just,
good on the bar crawl.
And yeah, I mean,
I got the look.
Now we're
by
getting
the
into
way,
it.
if you come for her, this lady can slap. But I just like, we're getting to the age now where like an innocent comment from my son's friend is like, "Oh,
I still get it to this
your
day.
sister's head's big," and my son didn't really hear it, but I did, and the mom and I talked, and she was so apologetic. But like, how do you handle those moments? Because I might want to fight a child.
100%. I get
won't,
all the time.
but
Mommy, why does that baby have a beard?
sorry, I wasn't expecting.
This day, still to this day, I get it. It's just I laugh about it now because it's like two reactions. It's like, oh, what is that from these children, or just a what's going on there kind of thing. It's a shock or a what is that? It's gonna happen, right? It's gonna happen. It's just.
And are you like, "Hey, I'm Dylan"?
I'm just literally very much so. God made me different. I literally live by God made me different. I'm not a religious person, but it's just the easiest way to go about it.
Yeah.
And then when they get the questions of, but why? It's just how I am. You have dark hair. I have a big ass skull. Like that was me growing up, and it's one of those things where it is. I don't know how my parents dealt with it because it had to have been tough to not just want to go, quit being a jerk.
Right.
But I never once saw my dad go, like, get pissed off about it, because I dealt with it very nonchalantly. I didn't let it get to me.
I hadn't watched that back because you told me not to watch myself back. Cause
I didn't say not to watch. I said I don't watch myself back.
I'm just trying to learn from you. But
no, yeah.
this one in particular,
But in the beginning, it's very important to watch yourself back so you can learn what you like and what you don't like, and really throw back to Roman Reigns. Sorry, but now
Yes,
we're talking about
with
something
you.
very serious. But I'm trying to keep it light for you because
no, I
you
appreciate
were,
it.
Yeah,
I am
struggling.
Totally was. I very much appreciated his perspective as someone who I believe is almost 40 and has lived through this. Powerful to hear that he kind of doesn't remember bullying.
Well, he said he wasn't bullied.
Yeah, or he doesn't really remember what his parents went through, but he personally didn't deal with bullying. And like since we've had that conversation in October, we've been at a birthday party where like another kid has flat out asked me why Liv looks weird. And like,
And what do you say?
I actually was really taken. I was thrown off. My guard was down. So I tell this story and I say, like, every time I go to the grocery store, every time I go anywhere in public with her, I mentally prepare a little, right? Like I need to be ready if someone asks. I want an answer. There's a lot of like mental
armor you got to
preparation.
put on.
Yeah, just because I want to say the right thing, especially if Chase is with me. I don't want to like instantly get angry or want to fight someone. And my guard was down because it was a friend's party where I thought kind of all of the kids, I thought I was in a safe space, and I was, but it was someone who's never really been around her. And he just like was like, "Why does she look weird?" And I was like, "Excuse me, what?" And he was like, "Why does she look weird?" And I said, I mean, we all look different. At first I said, "What do you mean?" Because I kind of was like, shit, this is happening. And there's other kids around and I want to say the right thing. And I said, we all look different. And I was like, you look different from him. You look different from her. Like, we're all different. And he's like a child, so he doesn't get it.
Right.
But I wanted to say the right thing in case any of the older kids are listening. They're like, oh yeah, we all do look different. And you know, as she gets older, she needs to hear how I handle it. So it was just...
Because she'll look to you.
She will. And I think hearing Dylan's perspective of like, you can't change the world for her. Make sure she's ready to live in this world. And now I think I left that conversation with like this different confidence, almost as her parent, to be like, I'm not going to pick you up every step to help you. She's walking now, which is...
Well, I mean, you can't help her if she doesn't want you to.
True.
I mean, she is feisty.
She is
spicy.
She really is.
She is.
But like
Oh
now
my
that she is
gosh.
walking...
I love her little finger wag.
So this is a very funny story.
No.
Steph is over giving her birthday gift and just wants to hold her.
I'm messing with her. I'm trying to tickle her.
And she flat out to her face, no. I was like, I can't wait to tell you someday that you just finger wagged.
She did it many times.
You didn't learn.
That's great.
But I do think I left that conversation with a different level of like, all right, this is how it is. And I know that, but every now and then I just need to be reminded, like, this is how it is, and it's all good. It's better than all good. Like it's a damn beautiful life. It's different, but it is damn beautiful. So
I love that.
thank you, Dylan, for that.
Want to wear the gear of WWE's most iconic legends? Head over to WWE Shop and check out all the official Legends merch collection.
From classic tees to iconic gear featuring your favorite Hall of Famers, it's all there. Don't wait. Grab your piece of WWE history now at WWE Shop and Fanatics.
Want to feel like a champion? Step up your game with an official WWE replica title belt, perfect for collectors and fans alike. Available now at WWE Shop and Fanatics.
Big part of our show, guys, is the fans. Obviously,
Our fans.
Our fans are great.
Mostly
And
Steph's.
They have some questions for you guys.
99.1.
And I thought this was a good transitional question.
Oh.
This is they submitted a whole bunch of questions to us
But a while ago, right?
a while ago, but we used it for a rainy day. It was like,
Okay.
this was perfect.
Just giving context.
So the first question comes from CC_612. You and Elise have shared about your friendship on the show, but can you tell us more about the bond you guys have?
I mean, we were just holding hands.
I know. I'm
Sweaty
saying.
hands.
I was holding her sweaty ass hand to make her feel better.
It's perfect.
Whatever. It was a hot moment.
I feel like I mean,
You got it.
Doesn't it speak for itself?
I feel like it does. I'm
No gushing.
filled with gratitude. I really am. And I try to, what?
I'm pointing at the bracelet that says grateful.
Yes, that you gave me. Thank you.
Just saying, grateful.
But it is, that's kind of a theme in my life, I think. I always try to be as grateful as possible. And especially when things are starting to spin or I'm starting to, feel bad about myself for whatever reason, I just sort of refocus myself in gratitude. And, Elise, I've told you a million times, but I'm so incredibly grateful for you and all of the things that we've been through together. And I think they do forge a bond. They really do. It's beyond a friendship. And,
This brings me to the second bracelet I got you that says soul sister.
mm-hmm. That's right. And mama.
Well,
Yes.
you're not my mama, but you're a
You're
great
sugar mama.
dead.
There it is. Tremendous.
Okay. What's next, Joe?
Okay. Something we haven't really talked about on the show. This one comes from Nasser.080, who says, how does it feel to be a WWE Hall of Famer?
Oh, yeah. No, I can't answer this.
Okay.
No, I
She'll tell
am.
you in
Yeah.
April.
I am not a Hall of Famer yet. I am. I know I keep saying this, but it won't be real until it actually happens. And I'm still just totally overwhelmed by it all.
Can't wait. What's she gonna wear? I have no idea. What's she gonna say?
What should I wear?
Oh, there we go. That's
Yeah.
a question for the fans.
I
anyone has any
promise you, the comments are like nothing.
Just your feet.
There were a lot of questions that came to you about a lot of the wrestling stuff that you
Sure.
grew up with. And, one comes from GBear521 who says, what is your favorite wrestling moment on and off screen?
Oh, there's too many.
Yeah.
It's way too many to have a favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, and it depends on why. Because whether it's my moment or Paul's moment or someone else's moment, they're all so meaningful. But I think that's the power of WWE, right? And there's too many to even count. And on and off screen, I mean, for both, my answer would be probably Paul.
Yeah.
Because our love, life imitated art. And it's just the most amazing thing. So, I mean, when we first started, it was like always just great chemistry, even though there was, no acting on anything. It was forbidden and taboo and all that stuff. But on and off screen, it was like electric.
It was kismet.
It's electric.
Yeah.
Damn.
I think I'm going to ask this one to Elise.
Ooh, yay.
This one comes from Claude Gomez, who says, what would surprise
Claude.
most people about the real Steph McMahon?
Oh. Claude.
Easy, Claude. I feel like this podcast has been amazing for that reason. People are getting to see this, not this heel of all heels.
Maybe a little bit.
You see it. You see it. You get it. But they're not seeing you acting. They're not seeing you doing the promos. They're seeing the you that we all get to see.
like the genuinely good, just like biggest heart. We're not gushing, but I think it's so powerful that people get to see this side of Steph because there will always be haters. But everyone in this room can speak to it. Like when you know Steph, when you hear that laugh.
Yeah.
Oh, when I watch the clips, that sounds so obnoxious.
But like
it's so loud
because you're having fun and you're getting to be you on screen, and it's really cool. It's really cool to sit back and be like, hey, this is this is why we became best friends, and now everybody gets to see that side of her, and they grew up with this evil villain.
But I have 2 stories about that actually.
Joe.
2 stories.
Oh my
One,
goodness. I'm nervous.
when everything went down with COVID and we all came back to the office, the first person that came to the office and literally you came to 88 and you took 5 minutes to talk to everybody individually that was in, like Ryan can attest to this. We remember you coming over to our area and just telling us, things are going to be okay. We're back. We're doing our thing. We appreciate everything you guys did during this crazy time in our lives. And you didn't have to do that. You really didn't. And you did. You came in and you made sure that all of us were okay. All of us made it through. And you reassured us that you were behind us and the company was behind us. So that is a core memory that I'll forever have of you. So that's one. And then the other one was the first ever Christmas party we had here when all the kids were involved. My daughter...
I heard about how it changed.
My daughter was like
laughed.
running across the dance floor and she bumped into you and you immediately scooped her up and picked her up and you wouldn't let her go. And
she was so cute.
and she just... It was like a good 10 minutes that you were holding her. And no, but it was
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But she loved it. And she still talks about it to this day.
Really?
Yeah. She was a little kid, but she remembers it. So
it was so fun. I loved the kids at the party. That was the money.
Yeah.
I actually said to Paul last night because the holiday party. Well, wasn't it Tuesday night? And I was like, "Oh, hey, go have fun with those kids." And he goes, "Oh, there aren't kids anymore." I was like, "No, they don't have the families anymore. Like, what happened to the families being at the holiday party? I guess it's different now.
Yeah,
it's just different."
Just a couple more here, guys. We have
I don't
one.
mean to, I hope that doesn't sound bad.
It sounds awful.
Like
you left and the kids stopped coming.
This one comes from Finster56.
Finster.
If
The
aliens
Finster.
invaded the world and were hostile,
say this.
which WWE superstar, past or present, would you put on the front line to defeat them?
Brock.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar.
Not even
close.
Yeah, it's not even close.
Save
There's
us
only
all.
one. Yes. Please, God, save us all, Brock Lesnar. Yes. And if you've watched Age of Disclosure, which is on Netflix, I have no affiliation, but oh my God, has anyone seen it?
Paramount.
Have you guys seen it?
No.
She's
Prime.
saying
Oh, Prime. Is it Netflix? No, it's
Oh,
Prime.
Paramount.
I know what you're
Prime.
talking about.
Prime
yeah.
Video. Sorry, not Netflix.
Paramount Plus. No.
No. But
tried to
it's
get
like
it in
this
the room.
whole. Have you not even heard of it?
No.
Yeah.
It's like Marco Rubio and
Yeah.
all of these very high level government employees that they're talking about aliens.
So Brock
And-
needs to get ready now.
No, he does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We all need to get ready if this is accurate.
I'm coming to your house.
Okay.
Some sledgehammers.
My dogs are ready.
lying around.
I don't know why I said that.
Because they stay ready.
2 mastiffs.
We have 2 more that I'll go to. Paco's World wants to know, what's the most painful bump that you've ever taken?
That's hard to say because you don't feel it out there. At least I don't feel it out there. Your adrenaline is so ridiculously high. Things that you know are going to hurt later, you just don't feel in the moment. But I guess There was one, and it's not like it was such a hard move to take or anything, but I took a rock bottom on the side of the ring, which there are different, like it feels different in different parts of the ring. It's never soft. I mean, some people believe it to be soft. It's never that. But it's particularly hard in certain places. And on the side, it's particularly hard. And I just remember all the wind getting knocked out of me. You know, I'm sure I did something wrong or whatever too, but that was like one in particular that I remember hurting a lot worse than I expected it to is probably how I should say it.
I feel like the Rhonda
Well, no, but that was legit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Just wanted to remind you.
yeah, no. Rhonda's
Badass.
Rhonda's Roundhouse.
Oh yeah.
Don't mess with her.
And then I think finally we'll say this one comes from Harris. Who is your white whale of people that you want to interview on this podcast?
I thought that was a good question too. I saw that in the packet. There are so many people that I would really love to interview on the podcast. We were talking a little bit about it. But I'd love to interview Joe Rogan, honestly. I don't think he does other people's podcasts because his is so successful and he's so busy at it all the time, among other things. But he's kind of fascinating. And I'd love to, like, he always tries to understand what makes his guests kind of tick. And he asks great questions. And I'd love to understand more about what makes him tick, how he got to be who he is, and all of his success and kind of what he's overcome, but more specific because he's shared so much. And let's see who else. Let's riff. I did say Angelina Jolie because
You did. We discussed Denzel Washington also.
we did also. Yes. On another episode we did, which hasn't aired yet. So you guys, you'll see.
Denzel's a good one.
He's top of the list.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, there's just so many because everybody has a story.
Yeah.
So what?
Ed Koski.
Oh.
In the wings.
Oh, sorry.
He was making faces that I couldn't ignore.
I've known Ed a long time.
Let's bring him on.
Yeah. I hired Ed. Yeah, it was a long time ago. He still looks the same, but with gray hair.
Good
He
for
has
him.
like he doesn't age in his face at all. I was taken out of my train of thought. Where
Yep.
was I?
That's my
White
fault.
whale.
White whale.
White whale. Oh, yeah,
He
the
said
good
Denzel.
ones. Yeah.
We were trying to think of who else, and I got distracted.
Tom Brady.
Bob Iger.
Oh, I mean,
Yeah, Bob Iger's also
That's
on
a
there.
great one.
Love to interview Bob. I think he'd be fascinating. And again, you have to, the goal is to just hear the human story of all of these people. Do you have any?
I mean, I feel like Tom Brady is such an obvious one for me.
Yes, very true.
Trying to think of any musician.
One more.
One more. I mean, I had said a while ago that I thought Cody Johnson would be
Yes.
a very cool interview because
Yeah.
I've shared
Your
how-
tie-in.
Yeah, one of his songs got me through like the early
Yeah.
struggles of Live. And I'd just love to speak to someone like similar to our conversation with Jelly Roll and hearing like his whole process of how he writes his songs and what the fans mean to him. Just, and maybe thank him, you know?
Oh, that's kind of beautiful. What a great way to end that segment.
Yeah.
Professional.
By the way, did you guys see Jelly Roll on Rogan this week? And he got made
I
a
heard-
member of the Grand Ole Opry.
I watched
No, I heard a little bit of it.
Cry, just
full
bawling.
crying.
Oh my God.
It's really beautiful. Yeah.
Oh, Jelly Roll, we're so proud of you. You're amazing. You deserve it. You're just such an incredible human being.
He really is.
Good for you.
And I think, guys, we can wrap it up. Do we have any goals for 2026 or?
Really? This is the wrap up?
Yeah.
Man, I hope it's fun. I hope
Well, we have to wrap now because you broke the mic.
Yeah. At least I didn't do it with my laugh. Oh, ASMR. Here we go.
Tired.
And you gotta do it, I suppose.
It's obnoxious. I'm sorry, Alex. In his ears. He's like, stop. Do we have goals?
Painting was a gift.
Painting was a gift, Todd.
That was too quick.
It was, sorry.
So good. So
He's
good.
laughing. I was gonna say what's really cool is should I not, Jack?
Jackie.
I didn't even do anything funny, I don't think.
I'm about to drool.
I was about to get emotional,
I've
but
never
fuck.
actually seen anybody spit the water back out into the bottle.
We're losing her.
I have sprayed.
Do you?
But not in the bottle.
Are you gonna drink that? Because that's like 4 ounces. That
Are you
Should I
sure
stop?
you're all right? There's a restroom right there.
took a weird turn. No, you can't.
Are you okay?
Can't.
I
You
mean,
need to
that
be
was
okay.
quite a lot of water
We
to
need
come
you.
back out. Yeah. You okay? You sure? At least, goddamn it, help her. What do you do when that happens?
If it kept going, I would have got over there and
Down the wrong pipe?
yeah. That never happens because I'm a pro. Anyways, I was just gonna say what's really cool. That's what I said. And okay, what's really cool is a year ago I would have never pictured this opportunity for myself.
I love it. I love it.
Like not even a little bit. Like last year making goals, I'm like, just keep a job, like find a job.
You did.
I did.
I mean, you complain about it a lot.
It makes it fun. Obviously, I am very just beyond grateful to be in the seat, like literally having fun with you. And what's really cool is we started last April.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. WrestleMania.
And all of you guys behind the scenes, including Nash, Charles, there's a few that are not here.
Yeah.
Like from day one, Bray-Ban were like, you got this. Just go out there and do this. And you guys are like the faces I would look to in the beginning where I was super uncomfortable. I was like sitting in the closet, like waving
She
to
was
Dom.
actually in the back of the room, not in the closet, though.
Oh my God, that's right. Yeah.
And I was
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm
When the test episodes and even the Dom episode,
yeah, I was
right?
like, when
Weren't you
Dom
pretty
was like,
far
I'm
away.
trying to see you, but I'm looking through a lot of
You were very
wires.
far.
Even Dana White, you moved me closer.
Yeah.
Bianca,
We inched you closer into the
Each
like
time,
finally
each
you
time.
were
They're
on
like,
Yes.
I don't think we want to put her up there, but
I guess
you're
we're gonna have
probably right. She just keeps getting closer. Fuck. But you guys are like the unsung heroes that
Oh, thank you.
I come in having a rough day. Jackie just instantly handles me. And even like you guys before Steph is here and I'm talking to you guys are just, we are so lucky. And we get to like say the most inappropriate shit and laugh and watch your faces and you're in on it.
Or
And
then they don't react.
They don't react
Then
sometimes.
that's the worst.
Sometimes we're so like in a zone.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh, and that didn't land.
That is actually that's my favorite when you guys are like, and you didn't react. And I'm like, oh fuck.
Joe was like, I was trying to think of the next thing you were gonna say so I could get the clip. But I don't think people see, what goes into it behind the scenes. So just a thank you.
Oh,
and you guys have
Well, and
helped.
we are so fortunate to have a team
Oh, yeah,
also
it's-
because a lot of podcasters
just be
do
us.
not
I'd, like,
have
jump
these
up
kind
and
of resources.
turn off the cam.
That's,
wouldn't even have
I mean,
mics.
yeah, it would be you.
It would 100%. But I wouldn't complain.
Oh, yes, there was.
But for me, just like learning how to do this, or maybe I haven't learned, but I'm trying. Like you guys, you are the people I lean on.
Yeah.
Because I try to, this one's a pro over here. So
I've never done this. Well, not this.
done.
You've done some things as we've established since the beginning of this.
Very, very grateful for
But
all
I
of
agree.
you.
I agree.
And I thought you might.
Yes.
Because we always talk about how.
We do. We talk about the team all the time.
Oh.
And it adds to our experience and having fun. So
Well, we all appreciate you guys, seriously. And when you think about it, we're actually a year in because we started really prepping
Our
this
test
thing.
episodes?
Test episodes, meeting
Which we need
with-
to put out at least
Yeah.
one, which was John Cohn.
Yeah.
I was
Yes.
Meeting with creative and coming up with ideas and to just see.
That's when you were in the.
Yeah.
I was shaking in the corner for the John Cohn
We-
episode.
Maybe we don't let that one
I think
out.
I think it was January of last year or late
Really?
January where we had that big meeting with creative services and we started talking
wow.
about the
Think
show.
about the name of the show.
Yeah, and the theme and
Yeah.
everything else. Yeah, it took a while.
So to see where we landed in April of that year, 3 months of prep, to now where we are pretty much a year in, and how things have subtly changed and things are continuing to improve. And
Pointing at you.
You want to hold my hand again? Listen to Joe.
the joy.
handshake.
Seriously though, the joy of this is that sometimes you work with people that aren't fully committed, and you guys are. And we work.
We
work
should
in
be
harmony.
committed, let me tell you. Way to ruin a good moment, huh?
I'm sorry.
No, me. I wanted to
Oh.
tickle her. Got her. Anyways, head to my OnlyFans.
And that is
And that's how we end
what
it.
we really wanted to say.
Yeah.
Princess Peaches at OnlyFans.com.
Please use the code Steph50 off.